Hello and welcome. We are live, everyone. Today is so exciting. It is another yet topic near and dear to me. Empower your career, leadership training for women, moving from employee to supervisor. And this is so crucial, so critical when you're in those pivotal moments from moving from employee to supervisor. We are live. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, sharing is caring. So if you know that someone needs this information, please share it, and share it, because what is so important is that we start making sure that we are well educated, that we do not just keep this information to ourselves, but help your sister, help your niece, help your auntie, help whomever, so that they don't have to feel stuck in their career. With that all being said, I am so thrilled to be here today for this leadership insight. Again, it's all about empowering your career, leadership training for women, moving from employee to supervisor. This is such an exciting time when someone is moving from the first time from employee to first time supervisor. Last week, before I get into this, let me share a little bit about last week. It was all about women and situational leadership. If you missed it, please go back, check it out. It's so important as a leader that you know how to flex in and out of different leadership styles. If you plan on being in leadership for the long game, and I hope you do, it is going to be crucial that you understand the different leadership styles so that you too can start flexing in and out of these styles. We've gone through lots of different styles already. Feel free to go back, look at YouTube. They are there for you. I want you all to be so well versed in the different leadership styles. It takes time for you to start practicing these different styles, but it's key and it will take you so far in the long run. Today, we will cover the significance of a leadership in career advancement, the key aspects of moving from an employee role to a supervisory position, and how these changes can positively impact your career trajectory. And I definitely want you to get it. I get this question a lot, people wanting to move from supervisor to, or from employee to supervisor. How am I going to be as a supervisor? What do I need to do? And so this is for those who have not been a first line supervisor. I want this transition for you to be smooth. Our 3 points are going to be understanding your new role, building effective relationships, and developing leadership skills. I want to do a roll call, whether you're catching us live, whether you're catching us on the replay. We want to know you're out there. Let us know your name, where you're tuning in from. We want to show a little love to you, and let us know what's resonating. Myself, my team, we go back, we are looking at the comments, and thus we will, if you have a question, if there is something that you haven't seen and you'd like us to tackle, let us know that. We are definitely looking. We will definitely respond, as long as it's something about the realm of focus that we cover. You know, this is social media, people. We get lots of interesting comments here and there, we will address them if they are in our realm. All right. So, with that being said, sometimes I like to share a story. And today I'm going to talk about Liz, a talented and hardworking employee who had been with her company for several years. Liz was recently promoted to first line supervisor. Yay for Liz. Despite her excitement, she soon realized that the skills that made her a great employee were not the same ones required to be an effective supervisor. Initially, Liz struggled with delegating tasks, managing her former peers. And for some of you who are going to be a first line supervisor, and if you are within your same group, those same peers, there can be a little bit of a struggle when you move. And yes, I know some of y'all are saying, yeah, but I'm good with these people. You were. You were, and you still can be, but there is an adjustment, and definitely depending on how you were with those same peers, it can be a little bit of a bigger hurdle for some people. And definitely I would love to be able to communicate with you all. If you're in that, I will do more topics on this, and hopefully I'll be able to cover some of the areas that we won't be able to cover today. But back on Liz, she struggled with delegating tasks, managing her former peers. She often found herself overwhelmed, unsure how to assert her authority without coming off harsh, because Liz was in a group that she was formerly in. So her transition was a rocky. Her team's productivity started to decline. However, the good thing about Liz, she sought mentorship and she started attending leadership trainings, sessions. It's so important that even on your journey, no matter where you are, you continue learning about leadership. It is not a one stop shop. You are on this journey for the long haul. So Liz learned the importance of setting clear expectations, providing constructive feedback. That's a hurdle sometimes when you're talking to your former peers, but it's still needed, and building strong relationships with her team. Gradually, she was able to be transformed into this confident and capable supervisor who inspired her team to excel. Liz's story highlights why understanding the dynamics of moving from employee to supervisor is so crucial. It's not just about taking on this new title, it's also embracing this new mindset and skill set to lead effectively. We'll move into our first point, and that is going to be you must understand your new role. As a supervisor, your primary responsibility shifts from completing tasks to overseeing the work of your team. This means setting those clear goals, providing direction, and ensuring that your team meets its objectives. Now, I'm saying that I do recognize that unfortunately, sometimes this also means for some, maybe you have your own job responsibilities in addition to ensuring that the team is on the right track. So I do recognize that unfortunately, not for everyone, that when they do get into this role, sometimes your task really are, oh, I have work to do and I need to oversee I need to lead a team. So, depending on where you fall in, which is why it's so crucial to understand your new role. Let me see. If your new role has specific written instructions, you want to read through those extremely clear. If you have the opportunity, perhaps maybe you were able to see the person before you in the role. I don't know if that's a resource for you. However, you really do need to understand and start picking apart what is it that's expected of me. It's so essential to understand that your success is also going to now be measured by your team's performance rather than your own individual contribution. Do not let this scare you. This requires a shift in focus from what you can accomplish alone to what you all are going to achieve as a team. Additionally, you also need to balance multiple roles, being a coach, a mentor, a manager. Ensure each of these roles they require different skills such as active listening, providing guidance, making tough decisions when necessary. We're not going to have time to fully go into it, but it's also about building effective relationships. And so that's going to be our second point, building effective relationships. When you move from an employee to a supervisor, that means you are transitioning from being that peer to being a leader. This can be challenging for some, especially when you're managing former colleagues. To build effective relationships, you must establish trust and respect. You need to communicate openly, being honest with your team, and also being transparent about your expectations and goals. I need you to be able to show empathy and support to your team members. I'm going to be really transparent. Some of you out there perhaps haven't had the best success with all of your former colleagues, and don't let that be a stumbling or a hindrance for you. You're still going to forge ahead. Remember, showing empathy and support will go a long, long way, and especially when you do it consistently. If you were that person that maybe you worked with Sally and you and Sally just didn't necessarily always see eye to eye, that is okay. This is a new day. This is you dawning on a new thought process. And I want you to make sure that you still show Sally, listen, I am a leader and I lead with empathy. I lead with making sure that my team is successful. So if you had issues, and sorry for all you Sallys out there, I picked your name, it could be Amy. Regardless, if you had a concern with someone, I need you to be able to rise above and see that individual as a human being that you now have the ability to influence in such a beautiful, dynamic way. It's just a slight shift in your thought process. Also, remember, leadership is always about influencing, and thus, by fostering this positive and collaborative environment, you will inspire your team to perform at their best. And I'm curious for those out there, if you do have concerns about leading some of your former colleagues, let me know what type of concerns, because they come in so many different arrays. And if you let me know what type of concerns you have, I will do another topic around those concerns. So definitely hashtag let me know, put some comments in there about the particular concerns you have about leading your former peers, and I will be happy to make sure that I do another segment. This isn't the only segment. I'm actually going to follow this up next week, talking about it a little bit more in depth. And so it won't be the last time you're hearing about this, but I would love to tackle something that's near and dear to you all as well. Our third point is really developing leadership skills. You will not just become this phenomenal leader overnight. I need you all to give yourself grace. I need you all to maintain a positive mindset when it comes around to this, because leadership really is a long dance. I need you all to have stamina. I need you all to know that you're going to make a few mistakes here and there. Those mistakes will help you to become a greater leader. And so just know they will come, and especially if you are new to this game, they're going to come. And so you definitely need to give yourself grace throughout this process. Throughout this process. Leadership requires a distinct set of skills that you may not have fully developed from your previous role. Focus on enhancing your communication, your problem solving, and decision making abilities. I know that you all think, or some of you may think, oh, I have communication down pat. And I am going to challenge you, if when someone is speaking to you, you are thinking about your response, you are thinking about what you should say next, you have a comeback already, listen, this message is just for you. I need you to work on your communication. And part of that is really being able to sit down and listen to someone that they are telling you something, and you're probably sitting there like, oh, how dare they? Ah, listen, communication is about being able to take in what someone has to say. I'm not saying that you're going to agree with everyone is saying. However, to be able to move that and to be into an empathetic lane, to be into a lane where you can lead and be supportive, you must be able to listen. And we talk about active listening all the time. However, we are talking about even going into a deeper level. I'll have to do another a thing on active listening in the different stages so you'll understand where you are. But let me end this particular little segment with, if someone is speaking to you and you're thinking about your next, you're not where you need to be. And I need you to work on your communication. And again, problem solving is something that definitely comes with a leadership role, decision making abilities. I don't know where you are, but you do need to be able to make decisions. And if those are areas that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, that is definitely a good place to start. Again, effective communication is so key. You got to learn to be able to articulate that clear vision. Again, the listen actively to your team's input. You don't have to accept it all, but I do need you to listen to it. I need you to listen to it, and I also need you to be able to let your team know that they are being heard, that it is just not going into one ear and out the other. Provide that feedback, constructive and feedback that's encouraging. Problem solving, decision making skills, those are so critical, they're crucial. You are going to be faced with so many new challenges. And you must be able to make a decision that impacts your team and the organization. Approach these situations with that strategic mindset, considering both the short term and the long term consequences. Where is this decision going? How is this going to affect the team? How is this going to affect the division? How is this going to affect the organization as a whole? You need to have all of those thoughts going in your mind at once when you're coming up with your decisions. Finally, you must always seek that continuous improvement. This leadership is just a journey. It is not a pit stop. It is a lifelong journey, not that just single destination. I need you to be able to stay open to learning, seeking your own feedback, and also willing to be adaptive in your approaches as needed. You are no longer this one stop shop. I need you to be able to embrace such a bigger, open mindset, more diversity in your thought, and making sure also that you are surrounding yourself with more diversity. Because if you only have people that look like you and think like you, that surrounding you, you are so limited. And I know for some that's a challenge. And if that's a challenge for you, please join me in the YouTube community that I have on MDW Solutions. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can bring a more diverse audience or surround yourself with more diversity. Because again, if they look like you and sound just like you, that does not always get you the diversity that you need. You need to be open, and you need to have broader viewpoints. And sometimes that comes with people that look like you that have different thoughts, and sometimes people that don't look like you. And that's okay. Now, with that being said, definitely, I would love for you all to join me on YouTube in the community. I do drop nuggets there from time to time. And I want to go ahead and wrap us all up. We discussed the importance of understanding your new role, building effective relationships, and developing key leadership skills that's going to help you to transform from employee to supervisor. We started talking about Liz at the beginning, who successfully navigated her transition by embracing these principles. Then she explored each aspect in detail, highlighting the need to shift in focus, building trust and respect, and enhancing her essential leadership skills. It's also important to note as you move into your supervisory role, remember that leadership again is about influencing and it's empowering others. Your ability to effectively lead will not only impact your team's success, but it's also going to help you advance in your career. Embrace the transition with confidence, knowing that by applying these principles, you can become an inspiring and effective leader. I want to say this. I was speaking to someone earlier today. I know that you all sometimes have self doubt. I need you to lead with confidence. When those thoughts are coming in, push them out. Make sure that you surround yourself with people that will be able to boost you up, that will speak truth in a love. I always love to end with a quote, and this is a no different. Leadership is not about being in charge, it is about taking care of those in your charge. And this quote really just emphasizes the importance of leadership in supporting and empowering others, which align with the theme of transitioning from employee to supervisor. Join me next week for more incredible insights. You deserve nothing but the best. It is my goal to ensure that you move to your next level. Let's take your career to new heights together.